We have been talking about large language models, LLMs, for the past few weeks, and we have also been going through them, learning how to use large language models in our morning live streams. So today, I wanted to jump into Frontier large language models, talk about what that is, so that we can start getting familiar with that. It is a huge part of AI and large language models. So, with that being said, let's just jump right into it and figure out what exactly are these frontier large language models and why they actually matter to us. All right, let's get to it. So, like I said, the topic of today is going to be frontier large language models. So, our agenda for today is we're going to go through our introduction. We're going to give a quick little recap on large language models. We're going to talk about the characteristics of a frontier large language model, LLMs. We're going to talk about the key 2025 frontier models. What are some development challenges when building out these frontier models? And we're going to talk about some real world applications and the future of large language model frontiers, and then we're going to wrap it up with our conclusion. Right? It should be pretty quick. We're gonna it's just an overview, but we're going to because we're going to dive deeper into it on our morning shows. We have already been signing up for. We already signed up for OpenAI. We signed up for Claude Anthropic. We signed up for Google Gemini, and we're just working our way through it. One of the best ways for me to learn is to actually implement it in something valuable, like my content creation assistant. Like where I set up my metadata, get my titles, my description, my keywords, and then soon I'm going to be working on getting my thumbnails as well. So for me, the best way to learn is to actually implement it, but it's very important that we have a good understanding of what we're getting into, and that's why I want to break down the frontier language models today, right? Large language models today. So let's get to it. So we're going to cover in our introduction a quick recap. What are large language models, LLMs? We're going to talk about the evolution of large language models, the importance of cutting edge advancements in large language models, and then we can actually get into these frontier models. So all right, so pop quiz, what is a large language model? What are LLMs, right? So basically, they are AI systems, artificial intelligence systems that can understand and generate human language. So pretty much you are talking to a computer and it's responding to you as a human. Like it's very, I'm not going to say personable, but it just has a conversation with you, right? And you ask it a question, it gives you an answer. They are based on deep learning and machine learning techniques. So basically these models, they basically study and build and gather data in order to be able to give you the appropriate response. It doesn't always get it right. It does not always get it right, but it is getting a lot better. What are the evolutions of large language models? So we have the early rule-based and statistical models between the 1950s, yes, all the way back to the 1950s and the 2010s. Early AI relied on rule-based systems and statistical methods like n-grams and hidden Markov models for natural language processing. NPL stands for natural language processing with limited contextual understanding. All right, so basically it's just feeding in data and it doesn't really understand what you're asking it. And then we move over into the neural networks and transformers, the 2010s to the 2020s. You see how fast this stuff starts to evolve? So between 1950s and 2010s, we have the early rule-based and statistical models. Between 20, that is 60 years, right? It's about 60 years. And then within a span of 10 years, we have the neural networks and transformers. So the rise of deep learning, especially the transformer architecture, for example, BERT, GPT-3, enabled large-scale language models with improved contextual reasoning and generative capabilities, right? So within 10 years, we got this far. Now, the advanced multi-model and AI agents, the 2020s to the present, which is only 5 years, right? Look how fast we've evolved, right? Large language models evolved into multimodal models, for example, GPT-4, Gemini, capable of processing text, images, and code with a shift toward AI agents that interact dynamically and execute tasks autonomously. So when I have my meetings, I have an AI assistant that follows me to my meetings and it takes notes from me, it emails me the notes and stuff like that. There are image generators, between, as we saw, 1950s to 2010, very limited. Within 10 years, 2010 to 2020, huge advancement. 2020 to now, which is only 5 years, it is going crazy. just the other day, I created a video, which is streaming on, it's probably streaming right now on Tech Music. If not, it's probably going to start right after this on the Tech Music channel, where I was able to put an image that I generated with AI into another software, another AI tool, and it turned that image into video, which I placed over my AI generated instrumentals for a music channel, which then I used my workflow assistant, my content creation workflow assistant, to generate a title, a description, and keywords, and a thumbnail, right? So my whole workflow for that channel is being based on AI, based on the advancements that are made, based on the evolution of these large language models, right? It's absolutely crazy. And there's so much more that you can actually do with it. So what are the importance of large language models, right? So enhanced productivity and automation, like I just explained, that is what I just explained to you, right? It took me like a few hours across a couple of days, versus back in the days, that would take you like, if it's even possible, months upon months upon months, maybe even years, right? Cut it down to like a couple of hours across a couple of days. So cutting edge large language models streamline complex tasks like coding, research, and content creation, right? Enabling faster decision making and reducing manual efforts across industries. Breakthroughs in human AI, artificial intelligence interaction, advanced large language models improve natural language understanding, fostering more intuitive AI assistance, personalized learning, and multimodal applications that bridge the gap between human and machine intelligence. One of the people one of my friends, right? They are always learning different math problems and stuff like that, and they use AI to help them learn math, but they always seem to like have difficulties with what the AI returns. I'm like, well, why don't as you're learning, why don't you just build your own AI agent where you prompt it the way that is best for you to learn, and that way it's going to always explain it to you, and then you don't always have to go back with ChatGPT and stuff like that. You might have to pay a little bit for the tokens, right? But it's going to be way better experience, and you're going to get done a lot faster. You're not always have to go back and forth with ChatGPT and Gemini and stuff like that, all right? So that is like one of the important parts between bridging the human and the machine intelligence, right? Getting it all together, right? So what are some characteristics of frontier large language models? So scale and architecture, parameters, training data, compute. So I'll explain this to you real quick. When I try to run a large language model locally on my computer, especially during a live stream, my computer is very, very, very powerful, right? It cannot handle it. It told it, do not come, right? It pretty much crashed my stream, right? So, and that is just a smidget of the size of an OpenAI, a Gemini, a Claude Anthropic, right? So the scale, and I can only imagine that with the way that they're configured, as they get more requests, then they can easily scale upwards. And then as they get less requests, they can scale downward, right? So that's why sometimes your requests will, your responses get returned really, really quickly, versus sometimes it might take a little bit of time, And also based on your tier of like your access, they might segment off, people who don't have a paid subscription to the lower cost servers, multimodal capabilities. They have text, images, audio, video. I use all of them. I get text generated, I get images generated, I get audio generated, and now, believe it or not, I get video generated as well. And I'm working on some amazing projects that are going to be generating video. Reasoning and problem solving improvements. That goes without saying. Personalization and memory features. I've seen OpenAI pretty much get to know me, like the things that I'm asking it, and able to help me generate my metadata stuff for my content creation, stuff like that. So what are some key frontier models in 2025? In the year of 2025, we have OpenAI's latest GPT model, right? We have Google's DeepMind Gemini series. We have Meta's Llama advancements, Anthropic's cloud updates, other emerging models, and open source contributions. We spoke about DeepSeek the other day. Very, very controversial large language model, but pretty much there are so many different large language models out there because they have some for doctors, they have some for nurses, they have some for people in the financial industry. It spans across because anybody can create them, right? And it's at the end of the day, it's just based on the quality of data that's being passed into it. Okay. What are some development challenges though for large language models, especially for those frontier models? So of course, we're always going to have these ethical concerns. People who are worried about, or in general, worried about bias, misinformation, or wrong information, and artificial intelligence alignment. Those are some of the ethical concerns that come across when it comes to the development. We have the computational cost and sustainability. Running these data centers, which AI relies on, is super energy. It's an energy drain, right? It costs. So dealing with the cost, and not everybody can afford to keep their AI and their large language model up because it costs a lot. And if you're not profitable, then you're probably not going to make it. There's also privacy and security risk. A lot of people are worried about. I'll tell you, somebody left me a comment the other day, says AI is a spy. I was like, okay, cool. You don't use it. I'm going to run it up. You're going to be broke, right? Just like that. And then they have regulatory and policy changes as well, because the government is always trying to get involved and trying to make sure that things are. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what they're trying to do, but they're always getting involved, and they're making policies, and they're making it tougher. There's tons of laws in the EU that's trying to stifle AI. The U.S. is always in a battle between, one administration is like, oh, AI is terrible. The other administration says AI is the best. It's crazy. It is crazy out there, right? So there's always going to be developmental challenges to play nice and be fair, all right? So what are some real world applications to these frontier models, right? So it's used in software development and DevOps automation. There are tools that are being developed. There are tools that exist where AI plays a foundational role in your development processes. Like for example, there's Copilot, where you can use Copilot to help you like with code issues, debugging. It can probably fit into the pipeline somewhere. There's tools like I forgot what was AWS App Studio, where that is developing. We had some videos out there where we reviewed it, where it's developing an app for you using AI for an internal organization. So little basic apps, but stuff that people couldn't even dream about creating, that they get to bypass, and they get to just go in there and create it themselves. And now they have an application for their company. So healthcare and drug discovery as well, because now that we have all this data, which is being fed into these large language models, that these healthcare and drug companies, they can use that data to extract information and stuff like that. And then personalized AI assistants in education. I used a personalized AI assistant, follows me from meeting to meeting, takes notes, emails it to me, gets me ready for my next meeting with the person so that I can be prepared and well-versed. And it's also being used in education. Like I was mentioning earlier, one of my friends, they are using it to help them learn math. And there are so many other opportunities that AI can be used and large language models can be used for educational purposes. Right. So what is the future of these frontier models? So trends in artificial intelligence efficiency and optimization is definitely one of the futures, like getting that better. Improvements in real-time reasoning and multimodality. Where is my great friend, Miss Freckles? Did I just hit the word multimodality? And I got it right 2 times, Miss Freckles. I got it right twice. Miss Freckles. How you like them apples? How you like them apples, right? The rise of agent-based AI systems and predictions on how frontier models will shape industry. So that's a big thing, because a lot of people are worried about AI is going to take my job. It probably will. I'm going to be honest with you, right? It probably will take your job. However, AI will also give you an opportunity to do more, learn different things. I do not believe that you have to be stuck at the same exact job for your entire life. I think we should always be looking to grow and expand, and then we make adjustments and use AI as our friend so that we can learn it, and then we can actually shift and end up getting a much better job, or even use AI to start our own thing. All right, that's my belief. People might disagree with me, but I think that the opportunities are endless with where AI and large language models are going and stuff like that. All right, but with that being said, it's time to come to an end, right? So we had a quick introduction. We had a quick recap of what large language models are, why they're important, how they evolved over between the 1950s all the way to 2025 and beyond. We talk about the characteristics of these frontier large language models, the key large language models the key frontier large language models in 2025, some development challenges that are faced with these frontier models, what are some real world applications to these frontier large language models, the future of these frontiers. And with that being said, if you have any questions, leave me a comment. If you have any comments, leave me a comment. If you have any feedback, leave me a comment. And I promise I will answer each and every comment, because guess what? As I'm learning this with you, you might have a question. I have to go figure it out. I might make a whole video on it. Who knows, right? I can answer it on our Tuesday night live stream. Who knows, right? But I don't want you to just take this information and you're like, oh, I'm not sure what he's talking about. If you're not sure, let me know and I will make sure to clarify, provide you more information, because we are here to learn together. I am here to add value to you, all right? But with that being said, we're going to go and wrap it up for today. So that was our quick little presentation on these frontier large language models. Hopefully that gives you some insight on these major players in these AI companies and these large language models. You hear about when you hear about OpenAI and their, are they going to be a for-profit company? Or are they going to stay a non-profit company? You hear about Claude's Anthropic. You hear about companies like Perplexity with the news. You hear about Gemini, Google Gemini, like popping up on your phone if you're an Android. You wonder what Apple is going to be doing with AI. Who knows at the end of the day, right? So many different things where these things are going, and we have to stay close and keep a watchful eye, because like I showed you, right, between 1950s and 2010, that there was very limited movement on this AI stuff. Between 2010 and 2020, zoom, like we started zipping through it, right? I remember like back in like 2018, I started hearing about GTP, and I'm like, what is that? And now I use it all the time, and I'm even integrating into their API so that I can build custom workflows that revolutionize my life, right? So the world is moving. You have to keep up. If you start to pout and sit back and wait, then you will, I repeat, you will be left behind, all right? But with that being said, we're going to get out of here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Do me a big favor on your way out. A couple of favors. I know I'm asking for a lot, but a couple of favors. If you haven't done so already, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live and drop new content. Another favor that I ask you, go and fill out the questionnaire about traumatic brain injury. My cousin was in a biking accident last year. She got hurt pretty badly. She suffered a traumatic brain injury. She is on her way to recovery still. But she's a system engineer and a mathematician, right? And some crazy type math too, right? But she saw that there was a lack of knowledge and understanding around the whole traumatic brain injury for people who are suffering from it, as well as for friends and family who have somebody who has suffered from one. So she's gathering data. She's doing some research so that she can provide content to help people deal with the same issues that she has been going through, and the family members and friends of those people who have someone who has suffered from a traumatic brain injury. So please fill out that survey. The link is in the chat as well as in the description. So please do me a big favor. It doesn't cost anything. My good friend Mitch, my best friend Mitch, said it takes about 3 to 5 minutes to fill out. So go ahead and fill that out as well. And lastly, go to techcoachralph.dev, join the Tech Coach Ralph Patreon, and make sure that you have your Patreon account linked to your Discord account, because then you will get teleported straight into my Discord and you can join the fun. I have me and my tech barbarians, we're building out a new app that's supposed to help with interview preparation and stuff like that. But we're in the beginning phase. We're going to be having some stakeholder interviews in there to see, okay, what can we build that's going to help you have a better experience. We have different meetings. I have my office hours in there. So looking forward to seeing you in there, as well as if you need one-on-one coaching. It's also at techcoachralph.dev, where you can sign up to be a tech barbarian or a tech prodigy member based on your needs. And then I can work with you one-on-one, and we can always run it up together. That is my number one goal, to help you be successful, to continue to add value into your life, right? With that being said, that is it for today. Thank you guys so much once again for tuning in. This is Tech Coach Ralph with another episode of Software Explorations, Concept and Overviews, where we just wrapped up talking about frontier large language models.
I've got dreams that sparkle bright in the stillness of the night. No more whispers left unclaimed, tired of playing their blame game. Your advice, like clouds unclear, shrouds my path in fog and fear. I've got plans of golden hue. Listen close, they're not for you. Just leave me alone. Just leave me alone. Let me be. Let me live. I have plans. I have plans. Wanted this child, no mistake. Keep your insight fake and vague. In our world we'll build anew. See me rise in skies so blue. Judgments falling like fake rain, washing over without gain. They don't walk in shoes I made. In my soul our dreams parade. Hearts like diamonds, precious, rare. In this family we care. No more shadows from your glance. In our life don't take a stance. Rise above what others say. Through each bright and shining day. Strengthen my own heart and hands. In this life love